The sound's from Oxford. No, it's not India. It was before. It's okay now. Now it's back.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, you're going to have to move that. Right?
Welcome to today's Wikileaks press conference of the Homeland Security. It's been live streamed on Ustream TV /Frontline Club. This press conference is independent, but the Frontline Club is proud to host it. And as a Frontline Club's founder, I'm personally very interested in it. As a journalist and ex-soldier, like many, I have become troubled by the rapid corporatization of war. It seems fundamental that both soldiers and spies should be directly employed by governments. The need to collectivise defence is, of course, the very origin of government. As war, intelligence and its dark arts fast become commoditised, where is accountability for it to be held, and how does the media fit into this? And is it vulnerable itself to being corrupted by it? Today you're going to hear from the following people in this order: Jamal Goshen, Yassan Al-Sad, both from Al-Akbar in Lebanon, and we're going to Skype into them fairly shortly. Mike Bonanno of the Yes Men, Stefania Morizzi from L'Espresso in Italy, Carlos Enrique Bayo from Publico in Spain. Forgive any mispronunciations. But anyway, thank you for coming, and I'm now going to hand over to Julian Assange.
Testing, 1, 2.
About 2 people using the same bridge, so it's such fun.
First of all, some thank yous. Thank you for the team who have organised this event here today, Vaughan Smith and the Wikileaks crew. Special thank you to our technical team who has done heroic work on this particular release. They are often unseen, but really they are, in some ways, the most important people in this organisation. And, of course, thank you to our sources, without which all our endeavours are nothing. So, today, Wikileaks begins its release of 5,000 emails documenting the private lives and private lies of private spies. Over the last 10 years, the private intelligence industry has boomed in the United States and in other countries, and is now a real factor in world affairs. But with its growth, there has not been commensurate growth in accountability mechanisms that should be investigating and controlling these organisations, like the controls that are placed on the, there are some, on government intelligence organisations and military intelligence organisations. This particular release concerns a US company, Stratfor, which describes itself as a global intelligence organization. Internally, it describes that its goal is to be the #1 intelligence organization in the world, and to teach US intelligence agencies how to become like them. On the surface, Stratfor presents itself as something else. While it always started out as a private intelligence organisation, it has erected a cover that it is simply a provider of intelligence publications, yes, to government and to military organisations, but also to private organisations and even universities. But the global intelligence files reveal that its roots as a private intelligence organisation are strong and are not being dispensed with in any manner whatsoever. In fact, when we look at the accounting data from this organisation, we can see that historically, the majority of its income has come from its private clients. Who are those private clients? Well, yes, they include oil companies, the US Air Force, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Bank of America, and so on. But they also include the US Marines, which Stratfor states that it is preparing the forecast for, the 3-year forecast for its commander. It includes the Dow Chemical Corporation, and Stratfor spies or monitors activists seeking redress over the Bhopal tragedy which killed thousands in India some 25 years ago. It includes other activists, other corporate clients in the United States that spy on activist organizations, for which Stratfor spies on activist organizations. So this information that I have told you just now came out in our press release early this morning. But in this publishing endeavour, where we have pulled together some 25 media organisations and more being announced in the coming days, information is coming out all the time. In fact, at noon, beginning of this press conference, we released a new discovery made last night. Stratfor was hired by the Coca-Cola Corporation to monitor and assess Peta activists in relation to the 2009 Vancouver Olympics. In particular, Stratfor's Vice President of Intelligence, the ex-Department of State Diplomatic Security Service Officer and Agent Fred Burton, offered access to the FBI's classified investigation on Peta operatives. The questions from Coca-Cola were, what is the number of Peta supporters in Canada? How many of these are inclined towards activism? The links between Peta in Canada and Peta in the US or elsewhere, Peta's methodology for planning and executing activism, and the risk of non-Peta hangers-on. The Yes Men and some Bhopal activists who are here today were also monitored by Stratfor, and they will tell you about those experiences. Stratfor has engaged in a number of actions and discussions in relation to Wikileaks and to me personally. The detail of that will be coming out over the following days, but there are more than 4,000 emails discussing Wikileaks and our activities. The interconnection between Stratfor and government, Stratfor and the US government, has made that a real issue. This is an organisation that does not just collect information. Collecting information through drives, through insiders. It is also an organisation that acts on that information to subvert particular groups, including Wikileaks. When we look at the News of the World scandal, we must see, in relation to private intelligence organizations like Stratfor, that this is small cheese. Stratfor set up an international payment laundering network going through the Bahamas. You can check email ID 1409763, through Switzerland, and through prepaid credit cards used to pay off its informers in different countries. Stratfor, according to its own internal documentation, spent more than $100,000 a year on such intelligence acquisition related costs. Some sources are put on monthly retainers. Geronimo, an informant handled by the Vice President of Intelligence, Fred Burton, the former State Department agent, was paid $1,200 per month to be an informant for Stratfor. Another example, and these are all released on our on the Wikileaks website, and more are being released as we speak. A $500 payment on the 15th of December 2011. The accounting number for Stratfor's payment to informants is 52000. The description is cost of sales, intelligence. That particular payoff was handled by Jen Richmond, and the document ID is 1431520. Rather than steal the thunder of our other partners, I will now hand over to them. Is the connection to Lebanon ready?